Okay, this is piece 223, Presentation of Fijian Mats and Tapa Cloths to Queen Elizabeth II. It is in Fiji, and Fiji is on the border between between Polynesia and Melanesia. So it's kind of considered to be in both, but the College Board is putting it in Polynesia. This is made in 1953. It's a multimedia performance. You can see that we have costumes, cosmetics, including scent and chanting going on and movement going on. There was a performance of a dance that was done too, and there are pandanus fiber and hibiscus fiber mats here, and this is a photographic documentation of all that. So here's the map showing you where Fiji is. So it's really on the border between Melanesia and Polynesia. The form is that this is a black and white photograph. On the photograph itself, you'll see there's negative space here in the front, negative space in the back, and then we have the movement of the women carrying in the tapa cloth and the mats, the Fijian mats, and men and women seated watching this procession. And the women are wearing tapa cloth as well. So in terms of form, the additional bit here is the Fijian mats. Fijian mats are made out of pandanus leaves. Pandanus leaves, sorry. And some of the pandanus leaves are dyed black, and they're created into a simple pattern. Not that this is difficult or simple to make, but it is more appealing visually when this pattern is done in a simplified manner. Okay, here's the pandanus plant. It's almost like a tree, and the leaves of it are long, kind of spiky, and they're taken off, dried in the sun, and then some of them are dyed black, well, after they're boiled to make them smooth. Some are dyed black, you can see that here. This is typically women weaving these mats. They're weaving them very tightly. And the pattern here varies, of course, with the mat, and just the kind of clearness of these designs makes them important. Here's a tapa cloth that we've covered before, and this tapa cloth is painted. So remember, it starts with a mulberry bush, the flesh of it. This woman is tearing off the outside of the mulberry plant, and then it's being pounded and made into this wide cloth. And again, that's what the women are wearing. It's painted. The context for this is that Queen Elizabeth here in England is going on a tour of the Commonwealth. It's kind of the leftover of the British Empire. Anybody who chose to remain a part of the Commonwealth, they are given a nod to Queen Elizabeth. She is still kind of the monarch, but she's not the ruler of their country. And they're united in this kind of trade and political agreements. Not that they are obliged to follow the Queen necessarily, but they're kind of in a protective group too. So here she is leaving England, going to Newfoundland, and then getting on a ship, going through the Panama Canal, and arrives here at Fiji in the Pacific. And this is a multimedia performance. While the women presented the tapa cloth and the mats, men were dressed in traditional clothing and performed ritual dances. And before any noise was made, any clapping was done, Queen Elizabeth drank kava. And here a postage stamp was even created showing her drinking kava. Oh, well, that's a coconut. She didn't drink it out of a coconut here. Okay, and here she is, in terms of context, greeting other leaders of these Pacific Islands. This happens to be Queen Salote of the Tonga, and so she is walking with this queen, a different location in Tonga, and but here you can see they're walking on tapa cloth. It's painted. I know it's black and white, but it is tapa cloth. And the idea here is in these islands, her feet never touched the ground. These mats and cloths were made in her honor. It's a huge sign of respect, and again, it's a focus too also on the women's production of these materials. And then just how important is it even today contextually? This is 2015, King George Tupu V of Tonga, which is near Fiji. When he died in 2015, is carried by these pallbearers who you can see have these Fijian mats wrapped around their waist, and they are walking on tapa cloth. You can see it's incredibly painted tapa cloth. And then 2018, Prince Henry and Meghan Markle, they also are, reenacting this visit to Fiji, and their Prince Henry is drinking kava, and they also walked on tapa cloth, and you can see tapa cloth in the background. So Fijian mats and tapa cloth made by women in this case in Fiji, although I did hit on Tonga as well. So it's the presentation of Fijian mats and tapa cloths to Queen Elizabeth II in 1953 on her tour of the Commonwealth.